As election of new leaders into the Soko government approaches, we decided to have an interactive talk with the outgoing President Caleb Musawa and his Secretary General Alex Kirong, who will be joining us later as they take us through the developments that him and his government have achieved, the challenges they have faced, and perhaps the future plans that they have in leadership in the coming elections. Right about now, kindly allow me to introduce my guest who is with me today. That is the President of Kibabi University, who goes by the name Caleb Musawa. I would like him to introduce himself. Now, karibu sana kiongozi.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam. Uh, my name is Caleb Musawa. I'm the current chairman of a student organization of Kibabi University, academic year 2020-2021. And for now, I'm in third year, though I started my leadership when I was in second year. I'm now in third year. I'm pursuing Bachelor of Education Arts. That is a history and CRE combination. I've served together with a government of 25 leaders, consisting of the congress persons or the nominees, and the 7 student council, which we have supported each other, and we have served as a leadership, as a team, and we have really tried to execute our best.
Now, how can you describe the term that you have led? Was it successful or has it failed? If it has, can you give us, what can you say about it for you to term it as a successful leadership?
Okay, thank you so much for that nice question. And when it comes to describing a term or giving the so-called way of my term, how I have served, that one, it could have maybe be answered by someone like a student whom I have served, or maybe comments from the senators, the CODs, or the lecturers, or the management and students. But from the ground, I have managed also to interact with people who reason, and they are really impressed with my term and my leadership, despite the fact that we have gone through the pandemic time, a hard time of COVID-19 period, but we have survived as a government. We have done our best. That is what I can say.
COVID-19 pandemic that I understand affected your leadership since it came on March, that was the 20th, March 20th, 2020. What are some of the developments that your government will be remembered for? Maybe perhaps highlight the 2 or 3 things that you have done that you will be remembered for.
Okay, thank you so much. From my government, we have tried to do so many things despite the fact of being affected with the COVID-19. First of all and foremost, we have tried maybe to counter oppose the so-called the 100% transition that was established by the management, and we realized that that thing is maybe not good for the life of the comrades, and we decided now to stop it, or to postpone the policy that was established. That is the first thing that we can say. As a team, we united and fought for the comrades. More so in our leadership, we use a strategy of maybe diplomacy in sorting out of the issues, and that is what we applied to sort that issue of 100% transition. Then secondly, when it comes to the so-called serving now the students, we have tried our level best to help and assist the needy students. Basically, as it has been done, the needy students normally get around 200,000, between a range of 200 to 500,000, depending on the basis of the finances and how maybe you're strong financially to support that. But also it depends how you maybe your empathy and the kindness in terms of serving the people. And from my side, we have tried to do to give out the normal amount of 200,000 and then addition of 200,000 again. We have sacrificed, we did what you call the diversion of resources or things. So we decided now to sacrifice some of the three entertainments, and maybe we decided to use the money to help the needy students. Now we decided to give out around it was around 400,000. That is the total number to the needy students. Those are some of the things that I have really done. And then lastly, as a leader, you know, you are a dealer in hope. And more so, for you to be called as a leader, you need to empower and inspire people, others. So another thing, basically from my heart, I have really tried my level best to empower an individual, especially when it comes to other young leaders, such as the class reps. We have really tried to empower them. We are the leaders who have been calling those class reps, we are calling the faculty representatives to come on the table and maybe share whatever critical information or whatever the issues. And that one, it means that you are bringing maybe leaders and young leaders and other fellows on board, so that you can deliberate for the same issue, they can assist you. So another thing that I can say is empowering other fellows. Yes.
So, sticking to that, about you said you employed diplomacy. Majorly, that was to solve the problems. You know, normally in universities, it is always expected that it's either, I think they use, I don't know what they call it. Is it what do you call it? Strikes,
It's called demonstrations.
The demos. So now, I think the fact that you use diplomacy and not so many students understood it. There was allegations, or maybe some students argued that you put the interest of the administration ahead of those of the students. So what can you say about this? Because there was so many, I think during the 100% transition, like the president Caleb Musawa listened to the administration instead of the students. Yeah. So what can you say about this?
Okay, fine, madam. As you have said, according to us, I want to say it again, that I want to make it clear again that we have so many ways of solving maybe conflict. We have got diplomacy, we have got use of force, we have use of demonstration, especially in any association, even in the country, in the world. They normally maybe use the so-called force. But I want to advise and I want to tell you the truth, that the only way that you can use to sort out issues and even the so-called in an institution or any person to hear you is through diplomacy. That is the only way that we decided to use so that we can sort out the issues. Most of the time we have been consulting, we have been doing so many things in just peaceful way, so that we can have a peaceful environment. Because I realized that at the beginning of my tenure, COVID-19 struck my leadership, and despite of those challenges, we decided now to avoid chaos with the management, to avoid chaos with any students, that anything that can affect an individual students. For example, you employing maybe strike to sort out the issue, it means that maybe your demands or your interest cannot be, may not be catered for, but at the end, now you will need to pay the so-called damage fee or anything, and someone should also be questioned how these, you know, organizing and having the so-called strikes and the demonstration, it is against the rules and regulation of the university, as the constitution of student organization of Kibabi University and the student handbook maybe states. So what you need to do is maybe using another way. Maybe I preferred, or our government preferred to use diplomacy to sort out the issues. But now the allocation came in place in such a way that the comrades maybe feel your leadership when you are someone who can sacrifice in such a way that you can apply force, use iron and blood to sort out the issues. But that is not the right way you can use. So leadership is not all about using iron and blood shedding. It is all about how you can use maybe a peaceful way to sort out the issues. And maybe at the end, we realize that the management are the people. And when you complain or when you lament, they listen. And at the end of that policy, they did what? They listened for us. Then they decided now to do what? To abolish that particular policy.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I had promised earlier, that we will be joined by Alex Kirong, who is the Secretary General of SOKU, which is the student organization of Kibabi University. And right about now, he has joined me with the President Caleb Musawa with this panel as we do an interview and discussion of the term that they have led.
My name is Alex Kirong. I'm the Secretary General of the Students Organization of Kibabi University at SOKU. And then it should also be noted that I'm a student by the virtue that I begin with the student first before a leader. So I'm a student, I'm a fourth-year student. I pursue education. I'm a teacher of history and CRE.
There was a strong allegation against your leadership and the leaders there that funds raised for the late student Triza was squandered by you and some of the leaders. And even the students who had to go and mourn the family to send condolences and perhaps to also represent the school, they had to use motorcycles as a means to get to the family. In your own words, what can you say about these allegations?
Well, Angela, I first of all want to enlighten and a section of comrades concerning factors finances. You see, our university is seasoned, and issues of finances are processed within the guidelines right from the national direction of finances. So there were two kinds of funds that were directed towards the burial of our sister, the late Triza. May her soul rest in peace. Now, there is a fund by which is actually dispatched through the office of the Dean of Students, which is usually 25,000. And that one is done by the office of the Dean. Though the vote head is from our account as the students organization, but it is through the office of the Dean, delegated to Reverend Chumbe, where the money is made available to the family of the late. So the leadership has no contact with that amount. Then of interest, you understand that comrades really called their shots and tried their best to raise something on WhatsApp platforms, class reps,
Facebook,
SOKU leadership. That committee was under the chairmanship of the CU, and I'm made to understand that Luciche was in charge. And the treasurer was the Bukosa, the students' organization of Bungoma. Yeah, was in charge as the treasurer. That is Kennedy. So at no time did I or any other SOKU leader get in touch with that amount. So any other money that is claimed to have been squandered should be explained, because we know we have to account on amounts that trickle in through a vote head that is recognized. And then I want to credit the leadership of Bungoma, courtesy of the Senator Bungoma, Honorable Etangula. We realized that Triza was not only a student that was cherished by students from Bungoma or Kabuchai in specific. You understand that she lived at Bukembe. She has a home at Kabuchai. So as a leadership, we did consult widely, and we said, well, how best can we make sure that the people that Triza engaged in group discussion, some of them come from Mombasa, the extreme of Homa Bay. So we had to make sure that as a leadership, we see to it that they cry for one of their own. So we thought out of the box as a leadership, and that is what we were elected for. So we sought help from the senator. And the senator told us that he was in a retreat in Mombasa, and he was to consult with the other leaders within the region to see to it that we are facilitated to go. So that was an agreement that was not written down. However, the senator is always true to his words. He saw to it that we were sent 10,000 by the Member of Parliament, Kabuchai, Honorable Majimbo. Now, owing to the fact that Soku is a close ally to Ford Kenya Party, we have to be honest in this. The MCA, Chwele Kabuchai Ward, Honorable Muhongo, sent some more 2,000 in the morning. So we had a total of 12,000. Okay. Now, what happened is we called some of the class reps in the first year group, cohort, and we also consulted with the chairman, Bukosa, and all of them responded adequately. So they told us an average number of the students who are waiting for us at the gate. I, the Secretary General, and the chairman rushed to Kandui. We hired a vehicle and a section of motorbikes, because looking at the budget, we were to stick to it for 2 and pro. So we are not mistaken in matters mathematics, because we manage a lot of things when it comes to comrades affairs, and therefore we had to operate within the budget. So we made sure that every comrade who wanted to go to Kabuchai and mourn for our own Triza really got their way there. No one was left, and I said earlier, though I am apologetic for responding to pseudo accounts, that's not how we do things. But at least I know we have so many cherished comrades who have a better understanding of things. So we managed to go there. The cars and the motorbikes waited for us, and those that we left with, we surely came back with them. In fact, we had even to send money to some of those who we found there, and we felt that we at least had something remaining. So we said, well, if this money was directed towards this, we better make sure that we complete the amount. So we sent the money, we have the records, we shared to one Elisha, a comrade, and we made sure that they found their way here. In fact, we managed even to squeeze some of them to our car while coming back.
Now, I had also a question regarding that.
Yes.
Now, is it not a school policy that when a student dies, or maybe perhaps let me use that, when a student dies, is it not normal for the bus, the school bus, is it not supposed to carry a specific number of students to go and mourn with the family to represent the school in general?
Okay.
Angela, I may really have scant details about that, because that is, I think it is in the presidency. So the chairman and the vice chair are in good position.
Okay, thank you for that. Now,
And maybe I want to shed light to the students that matters of the funerals is dealt in the office of the Dean of Students. And according to the policy, we are directed or recommended that we take care for the family of students in such a way that the bereaved students, the bereaved family of the late students. And the institution is now given the mandate to do whatever the activities of the funerals, to facilitate in terms of finances, and also to give a motor vehicle, that is a bus, to go to maybe to mourn the bereaved family when we have lost a bona fide students. If a student is bona fide, is an active student who have been paying the school fees, that one, it is done by the institution, and it is through us, a student organization, Kibabi University, who initiates that particular thing, that we have lost one of our member of student organization of Kibabi, that there is no any school bus or any institution bus that is going to carry people to the maybe funerals or any other maybe the social ceremonies. So it is limited, and it is a law that has been cascaded and has been written down that during this pandemic time, the institution buses and vans and vehicles cannot maybe carry people to the areas of funerals and other social ceremonies. Could be maybe directed to the students, because they are the one who have maybe analyzed me very well. Of course, I have served for a maximum of around 1.5 years. So when I decide now to come on the ground that I want to vie again, they know me very well. They know who is Musawa. They know the strategies that I have used to serve. They know what qualities, which qualities do I have that I have used to serve in my tenure. And maybe at the end of my term as the chairperson, I may say that it is good to get the public opinion for the students. If I could have the number, no, I don't want just to be a leader who is just elected by the nominees. You know, you need also to be popular and accepted by the masses. A good number of loyal followers, despite the fact that I have worked in the system, I know the strategies, how to win the election, but I want to look at the number of the followers that I have before I step, maybe I realize to vie again. But for now, I'm undecided. Also to thank the Kibabi fraternity. I appreciate their knowledge, the effort, for accepting me as their leader for the entire academic year that we have really served. Okay, from my side, what I can say, may just God bless you for being humble and also listening to me, supporting me in one way or another for the period that I have served you. May God bless you.
As we stretch towards the election, of course, we haven't handed over. I want to urge all the aspirants, all the bona fide students who feel that they have leadership in themselves and that they can deliver something to the comrades. I want to urge all of them to turn up so that they can be vetted by the comrades, and the comrades should be given an opportunity to exercise their democratic right. Let it not seem to be the business of the administration. The comrades should be given to play their tradition of electing their own leaders without any interference. So I want to urge all the comrades who are interested in vying and all those who are young to retire to maintain their pace and make sure that they deliver what they promised.